Is this really the end for Hope Logan at Forrester Creations? Or did she finally just wake up and realize the Forrester name was always a golden cage? For years, we've watched her bend over backwards to please everyone. She wanted to be the perfect daughter, the perfect designer, and the perfect stepsister. But today she finally set the bridge on fire. Think about it for a second, was this really just a snap decision? Or was it the only card she had left to play? The tension has been building for weeks and honestly the walls were already closing in. You have to ask yourself, is this a simple walkout? Or is Hope finally ready to burn the house down and build something for herself? The situation at Forrester has turned into a total psychological siege. Steffi didn't just sideline a fashion line. She basically tried to erase Hope's entire professional identity. By putting hope for the future on the back burner, Steffi sent a loud and clear message. She's telling Hope that she has no place in the now. It's a classic power move, isn't it? Using corporate necessity to settle an old personal grudge. And honestly, I don't think Hope is buying the "it's just business" excuse for 1 second. She sees it for what it is, a targeted attack on her life's work. But let's get to the real heartbreak here. The knife didn't come from Steffi, it came from Hope's own mother, Brooke Logan. Brooke had the chance to step up and take that co-CEO seat. That move would have protected Hope and kept her line in production. But instead, Brooke folded like a lawn chair. She chose Ridge's comfort and his pain over her own daughter's survival. The funny thing is, Brooke thinks she's being a peacemaker, but all she did was tell Hope that her destiny with Ridge matters more than her daughter's future. It's a masterclass in codependency, and it's honestly painful to watch. Why did Hope choose this exact moment to walk? Because the illusion of being a family at Forrester has finally dissolved. When Ridge turned down Brooke's request, it wasn't just about a job title. It was a formal declaration that the Logans are second-class citizens in that building. Hope finally realized that no matter how hard she works, she will always be an outsider waiting for crumbs of approval from Steffi. Deep down, she's reeling from a feeling of total abandonment. For years, Brooke was her protector, but seeing her mother prioritize Ridge's feelings over her own career has triggered every old wound she has. I really see this move as a hostile takeover of her own destiny. Hope isn't just quitting, she's reclaiming the Logan name. The Forresters have used that name as a slur for decades, and now Hope is going to use it as a foundation. In my opinion, this is the smartest move she's made in 10 years. Staying at Forrester was basically a slow professional suicide. Steffi was never going to let that line succeed because its success would prove that Hope doesn't need her. Walking away is the only way for the Logan powerhouse to finally be born. Hope's behavior here is a textbook response to systemic gaslighting. For months, she was told her line matters, while every action by leadership proved it didn't. This walkout is an act of psychological separation. She's finally cutting the cord between her identity and the Forrester brand. And things are about to get even more chaotic because Liam Spencer is right there in her ear. He's been pushing her to join Katie at the new Logan label for weeks. He isn't just being a supportive husband, he's a Spencer, and he knows a good business opportunity when he sees one. Liam's push for Hope to jump ship is a tactical strike. If Hope takes her talent and her massive following to Logan, she takes a huge chunk of Forrester's market share with her. This isn't just a career change, it's a market shift. And don't forget about Zend. He's frustrated, sidelined, and tired of being the backup designer. If Hope recruits Zend to go with her, Forrester Creations doesn't just lose a line, they lose their creative engine. Zend's loyalty is being tested by his own ambition right now. He feels a connection to the Forrester name, but he sees how Steffi treats his hard work as expendable. I honestly think Zend should follow her. The Forresters have taken him for granted for way too long. If he stays, he'll always be in the shadow of Ridge or Thomas. Going to Logan gives him that edgy platform he's been craving. And the Logan label, especially after Katie's recent success with Eric's designs, is becoming the cool alternative to Forrester's stuffy couture. Hope isn't just joining a boutique, she's joining a full-blown rebellion. It's a generational war where the younger team is finally tired of the old guard's ego. This fallout is going to destroy whatever is left of the Logan sisterhood. Brooke is already siding with Ridge and Steffi over the stolen Eric designs. If Hope joins Katie, Brooke is going to see it as the ultimate betrayal. Brooke is stuck in this loyalty loop where she thinks being Team Forrester secures her future with Ridge, but she's failing to see that she's becoming an island. If her daughter leaves and her sister becomes her biggest rival, Brooke might have her destiny, but she'll have no family left. Katie is finally standing in her own light, and that has to be terrifying for Brooke. For years, Katie was the sensible one while Brooke was always the center of attention. Now Katie has the power to offer Hope a sanctuary. Brooke's anger toward Katie is actually just deep-seated fear of being replaced. This isn't just a fashion face-off, it's a relitigation of every hurt Katie has ever suffered from her sister. Using Logan as the brand name is a direct challenge to Brooke's status. Katie is basically saying, "I am the Logan that matters now." Brooke seriously needs a reality check. She's acting like Katie is stealing Hope, but the truth is, Brooke pushed her away. She was a silent spectator while Steffy bullied her daughter. You can't blame the lifeboat when the ship you're on is already sinking. Brooke's identity is so tied to Ridge that any threat to the Forrester status quo feels like a threat to her own life. She's projecting her insecurities onto Katie and Hope because she can't handle the guilt of her own choices. While the fashion world is burning, the next generation is dealing with its own mess. Will Spencer is putting his heart on the line for Elektra, but he has no idea his world is about to be rocked. Dylan's secrets are a ticking time bomb. The drama with Will, Elektra, and Dylan is like a mirror to what's happening with Hope and Steffy. It's all about trust and manipulation. Will trying to fix things with Elektra is a parallel to Hope trying to find a place where she actually belongs. Will is desperate for a clean slate, but let's be real, the slate is never clean in this town. He's fighting for a relationship while the company they all work for is being torn apart by his own parents and aunts. And then there's Charlie Weber. He's back as head of security right when the Logans are planning their exit. Security isn't just about locks, it's about control. Is he there to secure the building, or to escort Hope and Zend out when the resignation finally drops? I think the Will and Elektra situation is going to add even more fuel to the fire at Forrester. If Dylan is hiding her connection to Remy, it proves that everyone in that building has an agenda. It's a toxic environment from top to bottom. Will's obsession with fixing things is just a distraction. He's hyper-focusing on what he can control because he's powerless against the war his father, Bill, is fueling. So what happens the Monday after Hope walks out? I'm predicting we're going to see a Logan fashion house that makes Forrester look like ancient history. Hope won't just take her designs, she'll take the younger generation of buyers with her. We're looking at a full-scale corporate exodus. I expect Zend to jump by the end of the week. And don't be surprised if Hope makes a play for Douglas to be the face of a new kids collection just to drive the Forresters crazy. This is going to put Brooke and Ridge's marriage to the ultimate test. As Hope's line starts beating Forrester in sales, Ridge is going to demand that Brooke rein in her daughter. Brooke will be caught right in the middle, and this time her destiny card won't save her. Steffy is going to spiral too. She thought she was winning by shelving the line, but she actually just cleared the way for her biggest competitor to thrive. Expect a lot of rants about selfish Logan women as she realizes she's lost her favorite target. The irony here is just too good. The Forresters let the Logan trademark expire, and now that name, the one they've looked down on for years, might be the one that bankrupted them. It's a classic David versus Goliath story, but this David has the Spencer bank account and a point to prove. Hope is finally going to feel some peace, but it's going to be lonely at the top. She'll miss the history of that building, but the price of staying was her soul, and she finally decided it was too expensive. This is a massive paradigm shift for the show. For years, the Logans have been like guests in the Forrester story. Now they're the ones writing the chapters. If the show actually sticks with Hope staying at Logan, it'll be the best creative move in ages. We need a real rival for Forrester. Having a conflict based on business instead of just who's sleeping with who is such a breath of fresh air. Hope is finally embracing her shadow side. She's spent her whole life trying to be the good Logan to make up for her mother's scandals. By betraying her mother's wishes and joining Katie, she's accepting that being good didn't get her anything but a cancelled line and a broken heart. She's choosing power over approval, and honestly, it's about time. So, what do you think? Is Hope making the right move by joining Katie? Or is she just letting Liam manipulate her into a war she doesn't really want? And can Brooke and Hope's relationship ever really recover from this? Or has Brooke finally chosen Ridge over her daughter one too many times? This is the most explosive shift we've seen in years, and we are just getting started. Will the Logan house become the new leader, or will Steffy find a way to crush them? One thing is certain, the future doesn't belong to the Forresters anymore. If you love this deep dive, make sure to like and subscribe for more daily spoilers and analysis. Drop a comment with your theories below. Is Hope a genius or just heartbroken? See you in the next one. Is Liam Spencer really the hero in Hope Logan's story right now? Or is he actually the most strategic player on the board? For weeks, we've watched Hope's world at Forrester Creations slowly crumble, and every time she takes a hit, Liam is right there with a shoulder to cry on and a very specific solution. But you have to ask yourself, is this just a supportive husband looking out for his wife? Or is it a Spencer looking for a major corporate win? The timing of his help feels a little too convenient, doesn't it? While Steffy is busy devaluing Hope's life's work, Liam is standing in the shadows with an offer that would effectively pull the Hope for the Future brand right out from under the Forrester name. Was this always the plan? Or did Liam just see an opening and decide to take it? To understand if Liam is manipulating things, we have to look at the absolute disaster happening at Forrester right now. Hope is feeling completely overlooked and sidelined because Steffy has put her fashion line on hold indefinitely. Steffy claims it's about couture, but Hope is convinced it's personal, and honestly, I agree with her. But the real kicker is that Brooke Logan, Hope's own mother, refused to take the co-CEO spot that could have saved the line. Hope feels like her mother chose Ridge's feelings over her daughter's career, and that sense of abandonment has left her incredibly vulnerable. This is where the psychological layer gets interesting. Hope is in a state of emotional crisis, and when you're that hurt, you tend to move toward whoever is promising you safety and appreciation. Liam has been watching this play out from the front row, and he's been itching to poach Hope for weeks now. He sees the way she looks when she comes home from the office, defeated, tired, and unappreciated. He tells her she shouldn't have to fight to be a priority when she could be the star of Katie's company. On the surface, that's exactly what a good husband should say. But if you look at it through a business lens, Liam is basically using Hope's trauma to convince her to leave the company she helped build. It's a very clever way to frame a corporate defection as an act of self-care. I think Liam truly loves Hope, but as a Spencer, he probably can't help but see the tactical advantage of weakening the Forresters while they are in the middle of a family feud. The real smoking gun for the manipulation theory comes from Bill Spencer's influence. Bill recently reminded Liam that Hope is a Spencer now, and that she will always be an outsider at Forrester. That's a very specific psychological seed to plant, isn't it? By telling Hope she doesn't belong in the house she grew up in, Liam is helping Bill isolate her from her Forrester roots. It's almost like they're trying to build a Spencer dynasty by absorbing the best talent from the competition. Liam seems genuinely excited about the idea of Hope joining the family company, and he's been pushing her to quit Forrester for a long time. Think about that dinner they had at the Spencer mansion with Katie and Bill. Katie mentioned that she needs a next move for the Logan brand because Eric's collection was just a one-time thing. Right as she says that, Hope and Liam exchange this very knowing look. To me, that look says everything. It wasn't a look of, oh, I hope you find a designer. It was a look of, we already know who that designer is going to be. Liam isn't just suggesting a career change. He's helping orchestrate a massive Logan announcement that would officially move Hope into the Spencer Logan territory. It feels like a calculated strike against the Forresters' market share, especially since Hope for the Future is aimed at the younger demographic that Forrester is desperate to keep. Now, some people might argue that Liam is just reacting to how poorly Steffy is treating Hope. And he's not wrong. Steffy has been incredibly dismissive and is clearly using her power as co-CEO to punish Hope for their personal history. But the funny thing is, Liam seems to be using Steffy's bad behavior as a tool to push his own agenda. Every time Steffy says something rude, Liam is there to remind Hope that, this is why you need to leave. He's not trying to help her fix the situation at Forrester. He's encouraging her to burn the bridge. That suggests he's more interested in her leaving than he is in her being successful where she is. There's also a major psychological conflict brewing between Liam and Hope regarding Brooke and Katie. Liam is firmly Team Katie in the battle over the Logan trademark and Eric's designs. He's even trying to convince Hope that Katie is in the right, even though it's causing a massive rift between the Logan sisters. This could be a huge marriage test for them because Hope still feels a deep sense of loyalty to her mother, despite being angry with her. If Liam keeps pushing Hope to join Katie, he's effectively asking her to choose her aunt and her husband over her mother. Is that support? Or is that isolation? In my opinion, it's a dangerous game to play with your spouse's family dynamics just to secure a business deal. If Hope does join Logan, the consequences are going to be explosive. We're likely going to see Hope and Zen both quit Forrester, which would leave Steffy with a massive hole in her creative team. Ridge is already worried about the bad press of Hope leaving, and if she takes her line to a direct competitor, it's going to look like a total failure of Forrester leadership. I predict that Liam and Bill are going to use this move to position the Logan brand as the modern alternative to Forrester's Steffy couture. It's a brilliant way to weaponize the Logan name against the people who have looked down on it for years. But what does this mean for Hope's autonomy? If she leaves Forrester because Liam convinced her to, is she really making her own choice? Or is she just moving from one person's control to another's? At Forrester, she's subject to Steffy's whims. At Logan/Spencer, she'll be the centerpiece of Liam and Bill's new empire. It feels like Hope is constantly being told what her future should be by the men in her life. Whether it's Ridge, Thomas, or Liam, everyone has a plan for Hope Logan except for Hope herself. Her walkout might look like a power move, but if Liam is the one holding the door open, she might find herself trapped in a new set of expectations. The funny thing is that Steffy is actually helping Liam succeed. By being so stubborn about the Hope for the Future relaunch, she is giving Liam every bit of evidence he needs to prove that Hope isn't valued. If Steffy had just given Hope a firm date, Liam's arguments wouldn't have any weight. But Steffy is too focused on her anti-Logan bandwagon to see that she's handing her biggest rival a golden opportunity. Steffy's ego is blinded by her disdain for the Logan women, and Liam is smart enough to capitalize on that blindness. So, do you think Liam is actually being a supportive husband? Or is he just Bill's agent trying to secure the next big thing for the Spencers? It's a tough call because he clearly cares about her emotional well-being, but his solutions always seem to benefit his own family's interests. Can Hope's marriage survive if she becomes the face of a brand that is actively at war with her mother's company? I think we're looking at a massive shift in the show's power structure, and Liam Spencer is the one quietly pulling the strings from the background. Whose side are you on in this Spencer-Logan-Forrester mess? Do you think Hope should trust Liam's offer? Or should she try to find a third option where she isn't beholden to any of them? Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you don't miss a single beat of this chaos at Forrester. Like this video if you think Hope is making the right move by quitting, and leave a comment below with your take on Liam's true motives. Is he a hero or a poacher? We love hearing your theories, and we'll be back tomorrow with more deep dives into the drama you love. See you in the next one.